Yeah, we need the chat window. Chat and reactions. Oh, there we go there. Preview. Preview at preview window. Program window. There we go. Program window right there. All right. Adzerbus, what up? First one in the chat. I don't get some water. Okay. If you're just tuning in right now, I am editing my gig log live. Exuberus, do you upload mixes live? Yes. Actually, well, not recently. In the past, I did. What's your question? Like directly? Like, are you trying to do it on YouTube, or are you just trying to? What are you trying to do? All right. All right, that's there. That's good there. That charge up. February 20th. Like, let's have like your mixes playing in the background, wondering, or maybe look, I'm wondering if any. See. I just like to have your live mixes playing in the background. I'm wondering if and when you upload more of them. So, I stopped doing that. Well, I do have some mixes, but they are for my channel members on YouTube. The mixes that I do and my gigs live, the ones that I do in my gigs live, so like for example, like my last gig log at the museum, that whole like 2 hour set is for my members. I don't put it for the public because uh they'll get they're not monetizable pretty much. You can't monetize it. So and also too, you won't get copyright strikes. It'll just limit the reach. So I choose to I still upload it, but it's only for my members. So if you want to have my mixes, the members is the only way to get it. But you also have my back mixes on YouTube as well, like the ones that I did like a year ago, like when I first started uploading to YouTube. I have those on there as well. So hopefully that answers your question. What the hell, man? Go back to screen share. There we go. All right, cool. All right, back to what I was doing. Well, looks like I am looks like I am finding out the limitations of this M4. So this guy here on scene. So I will be set up right over there because as I'm editing, I'm not sure if it's choppy on your side, but it's like when I'm dragging and dropping, it's kind of choppy. It's not as smooth. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we ain't got lay of the land, but this is everything right here. So we got the all right, ladies and gentlemen, this is everything in my first load right here. All right, we're moving. So just to kind of give you guys a glimpse of what's going on. So dance floor obviously look like they're gonna have a mechanical bull right here. So the dance floor and everything's gonna be right here. And then we are gonna be set up right up here. And but they still need to wrap these poles. And they're gonna put up a partition right here as well. So what I'm gonna do is, oh, I just noticed that they have a monitor, so I don't need my monitor. But anyway, now that they still have more work to do, so I'm pretty much just gonna pre-position my stuff here, and in that way, it'll still give them room to do whatever they need to do, and then I can just move everything forward. So what we're gonna do right now is I'm going to set up everything right over there. Yeah, I almost cried when I dropped that camera. I almost cried, man. catch up. All right, so here is the plan. So I got my. Okay. So this is 7:14. Where's my setup A? Where's that? So one pro tip, while that I want to let you guys know, whenever you're doing these big events. So my POC is the Wi-Fi guide, my the power guy. If there's like a planner, they need to be in there in the loop. And there's other the MC. So in this event, like those three guys are going to be like everyone that I need to, I guess, coordinate with, because those are the essentials of what I need. So I got my planner, I got the Wi-Fi guy, he's gonna give me Wi-Fi. My power guy, he knows what I need. If I need anything from him, he knows that I can hit him up. And also to the MC, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So what I'm trying to say is, whenever you are in these events, you think of what your essentials there are, like where you're going to be setting up. Normally the planner is going to have that, or the director. The power guy is going to be doing that, because in these big events, there are so many moving parts. So, and what you want to do, and here's a pro tip, what you want to do is make yourself as easy as possible to work with. You don't want to be having to ask a bunch of questions every time, because they have their own things that they're doing right now. Right now, they're having their own meeting about their whole production, how they want things to go, because there's a lot of vendors back here, and there will be more to come. So as far as the DJs, what you want to do is, okay, find out those essential pieces are, because those are the people that we need to do. Those are the people that we need to talk to make sure that our job is done. Once we have our orders from those people, then we can pretty much go off on our own and do what we need to do. But the point I'm trying to get across is, why all this is going on, you want to make sure that you hit them up first, get your one-on-one time with each individual, so that way you guys are of the understanding, and you can go ahead and be cut loose, because they have a million other things to work about. What you do not want is to keep running up to them, asking them questions. You have to know all this, because right now they're juggling a lot of things right now, and they don't want another DJ, or just someone else is adding more to their plate. And this is going to make you leave a good impression, because that's going to come off as you are easy to work with. You were given the instructions, and you took that and ran with it, and then that was it. And also, to your performance will have to hold up. But that's how, and that's just going through my mind right now. And I had meetings with all those people, and that's why I wanted to just let you know that from this video, so that way you can use this to whenever you're doing business with these big events. Supposed to be almost 1,000 people here tonight. So how I get these gigs is pretty much, to be honest, it's a combination of everything. It's a combination of reputation, doing good work, but none of that matters if you don't get the work to show that you have a good reputation. And that's why I put together the blueprint, and the social media marketing masterclass, because what happens is, whenever you are in a location, and let's say like a brand new location, and you're trying to, get known or try to get gigs, you're going to have to you're going to have to market yourself. You're going to have to eat, put yourself in a position to get gigs. Um, all that is broken down in the blueprint. Um, but pretty much you have to do all those things. You have to, your social media has to, pop. All right, you have to do that. But then you're going to be like, okay, well, how do I get social media content and things like that? I break that down in my course as well, on having the content that you have, things that you're doing already, to, to show what you're doing, and how to market, how to post, so that way people will see that and then contact you to do a corporate gig or whatever the case may be. But then whenever they contact you, you're still going to have to, seal the deal. You're going to have to say the right thing. You're going to have to reply the right way, quotes, ask questions, which I break down in my course as well. But it's just, like I said, it's putting you in a position to succeed. Because what happens is, let's say, for example, if you don't have any of that experience, you get to a spot and you can be like, okay, well, how do I start getting gigs? The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna start trying to, go to bars and clubs and try to like, hey, what's up? You're pretty much winging it. There's no, there's really no plan. And then you're gonna try to, ask people, hey, can I cover for you? Things like that, which is cool, but it's not really like, it's a start, but how far is that gonna get you? Um, Posting on social media, that is what you gotta do. Then whenever you post on social media, you got people who are actually gonna start contacting you because now they've seen you. What are you gonna say to them? And that's pretty much everything that I'm telling you. Like I've already done it. Like when I got here in 2016 in Tucson, no one knew me. Like I wasn't even in the States. From 2006 to 2016, I wasn't even in the States. I was in Europe. I get to 2016, and then I was here for, I was still in the Air Force, retired in 2021. And then it's like, okay, what are you gonna do? You ain't got no job. What are you gonna do? And I just started falling back on everything that the Air Force taught me because I was a recruiter, and recruiters like running a business. They teach you everything. They give you a car, they give you uh, a cell phone, a laptop, and be like, all right, uh, go bring us people and figure it out, making a schedule, sending emails, talking to people like random strangers, just building that, like business. Like they taught you how to run a business. And pretty much everything I learned there, it translates into booking for your own self. And that's what that do. Like, so pretty much I took all of that information. I took what the Air Force did for me. And then whenever I retired, I just started reverting back to what they taught me. Okay, website. All right, cool. Email. You know, business phone, business. Website. Just all those things. And then, you know, building together packages is like, selling someone, Air Force. You got different things that, either someone's going to join to travel, someone's going to join to for vacation, someone's going to join to pay, someone's going to join for the free medical, someone's going to join for schooling. All those things are why people join the Air Force. So now I got to be okay, put together a package. Why do people want to book me? All right. And pretty much what I'm telling you is, just breaking down everything. I just pretty much re-engineered a whole Air Force business and put it into a DJ business. And that is why I'm successful. That is why you see me doing all these gigs. You see me doing, these big galas and doing these weddings, and my prices is like above average. My When I first started doing weddings, I was doing like $1,200 weddings. Now that same wedding is $3,900. I'm like, how? And I don't have any movers, any, smoke or anything like that. No, it's two turntables, a microphone, 20 uplights, and that's it. And speakers. That's it. So how am I made to do that? I just gave you the sauce. I gave you how I did it. And then that's like an overview or like the origin. So what I did is I took all that knowledge that I've done for like the last, let's say like X amount of years, and then I just put it into my course. I just pretty much brain dumped everything I just told you, all the behind the scenes and all that stuff. I just brain dumped that into 8.5, actually 12 hours. It's 8.5 hours for the blueprint, and then 3.5 hours for the social media. So that is how I get all my gigs. And now when I tell people, hey, you can get the course for $150, the blueprint and the master class. Hey, that's too much. All right, well, I got $30. $30 is my membership on YouTube. Pay $30, binge watch everything in 12 hours in a weekend, and boom, there you go. You got all the sauce. Everything I just told you, you have it up here. And then I even take it a step further is uh if you use AI, put the course into AI, into your ChatGPT, into your Claude, or whatever you use. And then so that way now you can be like, okay, now you have Fox's framework. How do I run my business like him? I'm at, X amount of dollars. I'm trying to get this. Or hey, I'm having trouble booking leads, or I'm having trouble responding. People always do this, or I'm getting undercut. Like, what do I do? Like, you can ask your AI that, and it'll give you the answer based off the course. You don't have to read the course. You don't have to. You can have AI do it, but I recommend you go through it. Watch it, especially videos. Is me talking to you just like this, face to face, and breaking down screen sharing in the same office about everything that I'm doing. And that's what it is. And so, sorry to go long winded, but this is for you or anyone else out there that's gonna watch this before. That is my course. So you got a $150 option. If that's too much, you got $30. If you ain't got $30, I'm I'm sorry, but I mean it's an investment. If you are serious about your DJ business, I say write it off as a business expense. I mean, because it's gonna if you watch the content and apply what I show you, you will succeed. You will have results. But I know 90% of the people they don't even watch it. The reason why I know that is because I get so many emails, so many text messages every day, every week, and people saying, "Hey, I bought your course and the link don't work." And then I look at their name, email, and everything, and I look at their order. They bought it over a year ago, and they haven't even opened it up yet. The link is only good for 30 days. Every time someone emails me, it's the same thing. Hey, the link don't work. They never downloaded it. So they are sitting on. I'll get to it. All right, that is. So anyway, sorry that was long winded, but I just wanted to let you know that the semi description here. I mean, it's not hard to find. I mean, yeah. Mhm. Close marks there. So just over here. And when I was talking about the other vendors, like they're over there, and that's everyone else, all the moving parts, doing everything. So and also too, this is where we're going to be at. And like I said, they're going to put up a partition right here, so that way they can't see through. And then they'll eventually raise this up. So I'm probably going to leave my table right here. I'm probably going to set up, but I'm just going to probably not plug everything up, but just make it accessible just in case I have to move it. No problem. No problem. And one last thing, it's a good thing that I see all these railings, which makes it easy to easily just clamp my Osmo Pocket 3 right there. So it's real easy to get these different angles. How do you go about getting your music? Do you download or stream or mix or both? I know there's a lot you use Wi-Fi checks. Yeah. So I've been DJing since 1999. So I have a lot of music. If there's something newer, that's why I have Tidal, so that way I can stream it at a gig. So I've been DJing since 1999, so that should give you an idea of how much music that I have. Uh, how long have you been DJing? So that way I'll know. Maybe I can help you. All right, so I got everything set up right over here. We're looking at All right, so here we are. We got everything set up. Okay, stop there. Now, um, pretty much everything is pretty much already set up. Like I said, I don't need a facade because this right here will be covered. All right. All right. So now we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to the other satellite side. All right. So here we are. We got everything set up. I just started in January, then a controller, and had the opportunity to do a gig in the second month of practice in a parade flow in my town. What nice. I was streaming with my Starlink on Video DJ. That's pretty dope. That is pretty dope. I mean, things like this is make sure that you're getting footage, especially whenever you starting out like this. It's gonna help you in the long run. So next gig you do, you should be taking pictures of you doing it from behind the DJ booth. Give your camera to someone, let them videotape you. Just get footage, document what you're doing. All right, so here we. All right, so we're gonna. All right, what we're gonna do now. We are going to take the. All right, so I'm probably gonna have to go home and get my 4-foot table because this table right here is gonna be too wide. I didn't know that the stanchion was gonna be here. I did not know this was gonna be here. So I'm gonna have to improvise, but I'm probably gonna have to go home and get another table. Since then, I've been using Title Stream, but I'm interested in building a library, a bunch of songs. It seems like never done with good people. So, yeah, I mean, just you got to build a library since you're brand new. I mean, this is new to you, so yes, you're gonna have to stream. You know, if you can, you know, download music from somewhere. You know, if you got friends, trade music, or you know, but DJ City is good. Uh, Heavy Hits is good. There's a bunch of um, pools out there, but what I would say is just you just want to build up your library, like hit all the charts, you know, trying to pretty much just download all the back category. Like pretty much what I would do is just I would just go to all of those websites and then start downloading everything, so that way you can physically have it, because you'll never know if you're gonna need it or not. But if you have it on your hard drive, you have it downloaded, now you got it. So, but most DJs, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna take the time to go to DJ City and go through all the lists and search for songs that they think they're gonna need, or go to charts. They're not gonna do that. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna, since they're gonna be lazy, now they're gonna start relying on Tidal and these other streaming platforms. And if that's gonna, now they're gonna be handcuffed, because now they can't DJ gig because they can't rely on the music because they're streaming. So all right, so this is the issue right now. There you go. Goodwill with the goodwill for the win. Piece together what you can, piece by piece. hmm That's the way to do it. You got to get everything all at once, but you should be working towards a specific type of look or setup, so that way you're not just buying random stuff. So if you want to model my rack system or my setup, okay, use that as your blueprint. Then, you know, and then start from there. I mean, you should be getting, you know, you got your controller. Uh, Start working on your rack. What you got? Mics. Get your decent mic, decent speakers. hmm Right here, y'all can that right there. All right. So what we've done so far already was we have everything set up on that side. What we have the only thing we need to do over there is to put up. We end up getting this table here, the actual planner. What I did was, remember I was telling you before, like you don't want to be a burden. So I pretty much told the planner that, hey, I'm going to have to run home because that table that I had was too small. So she said, hey, will this table work? And sure enough, it does the job. So it saved me the trip to going to go home. Not really worried about putting anything on here because we're going to be behind here, so we're good. But yeah. But now what we're looking at is we're looking at someone who can do the national anthem. So I just put a post on my social media. Maybe they may find someone, maybe someone no. But what's going to be going on this side over here is whenever everything starts, I'm going to start the night off here. There's going to be an official MC. There's going to be an auction. There's going to be a bunch of stuff going on. And pretty much my job is to make sure there's no dead air, making sure that I have the right music for the right amount of time. You know, just kind of like ad-libbing and doing what I can on this side here. At 8:30, we're going to move everything from over here and then go over there for the club. So pretty much from 8:30 to midnight, the club and everything's going to be happening on that side. So think like this side right here is all business. And all of that, but this is what everything looks like. All right. So that right there, that's where the club and everything is going to be at. See if I can zoom in. So that's the club area. All right. And then all over here, there's an entrance. All right, so we have our XLR. We're going to go ahead and hook up our XLRs. I left. And club and everything is going to be at. See if I can. All right, so now we got. All right, so now. What up, Bay Area? What up, Bay Area? What up, what up, what up? TGIF. All right, so now we gotta hook up our cold sparks. Whoa, uh-oh. I almost killed myself right there. All right. All right, so this is the issue right now. Okay.
I would fuck with that a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
give it a shot now.
All right.
Yeah,
Oh, there it goes.
wow.
All right. Got that song stuck in my head, man. All right. There's no sound there. No sound. All right, I found a solution. So these are mines, and all right, so here we go. So now this is what it looks like here. So we got the main power. It's gonna be here. It's gonna be hooked up into the actual outlet. Figure out where that's gonna be at, but in there, and then from there we got the connector, the jumper going from there to there. So this is how it should look. Got the end, and then boom, and then from there go to there. So that fix was on those EV90s. They have a lot of bass because of how wide they cover, which means that the way they were set up beside a DJ booth, like it was still like because the mic was in their range because of pretty much how wide the signal is. They don't just push forward; they push all the way around, and that beat that bass was feeding back into the mic. That was where the feedback was coming from. So the fix was we turned down the gain. We turned down the lows out the mic. All right. All right, big dog. I just want to show you what I'm working with already. So these are your two. All right, we got everything all hooked up. So this is how everything looks there. Boom. Yeah, just turn down the lows. That's why you do a sound check. You do sound check to see, okay, what frequencies is bleeding over, where you're going to be at. You do all that prior. So that way, whenever you're doing your set, you don't have those issues. Yes, the room will change when people get into the when people get in the room. Yeah, the acoustics will change, but for the most part, the mic should be good as long as you do your proper check. So make sure before every gig that you're making sure that you're doing your check. Um, just like I did it in the video. Turn your mic on, your speakers, pretty much walk around, making sure pretty much you're going to be going where you probably going to be walking. You're brand new DJ, but you're not going to be walking anywhere. So just do a mic check behind the DJ booth, and then but I would also too walk around and talk on the mic so that way you can hear what you sound like on the mic, because that way the people will hear that too. And if you want to, do any tweaks for volume or levels or EQ, you can do that by talking on the mic and hearing how you're gonna sound when you're talking on the mic, if you're even talking on the mic while you're DJing. But that's how you pretty much would do a um, do a sound check. You're asking some good questions. Some good old questions. But You keep watching my videos, you'll be all right. You're in the right spot. All right, so we're back over here now. So the problem was that table right there was too long or too deep. So now we got. So that's back on that side there. Okay.
I would fuck with that a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
give it a shot now.
All 4 of them done. Okay. Put that up. So that's how you. That's probably gonna be the. This right here probably gonna be the shot. There it is. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. And right, but that's how that is. 404. That's where. Making sure that I bring the actual Cold Sparks dust to top these off. Make sure everything is good. But this is pretty much it. Like, it's still work in progress. We're gonna MC John because tomorrow we're gonna go through pretty much the script, 1 page for tomorrow morning to rehearse and everything. So this is pretty much a final check before I leave the premises, and that's it. So everything else checked out. Like I said, the Cold Sparks is good. I'm not sure if the camera caught that, but I did have it from the iPhone. So all 4 is good. All 6 rather. 2 on stage, 4 down on the floor. And also too, I'll put a tip in there too. If you guys run into one that it doesn't turn, like it doesn't spit out, I showed you the fix for that. So that's in there too. And that's it. Sound check on that side is good as well. So we're pretty much good. So go home and then we'll come back tomorrow. So I gotta go back on that side over there. So Rev 7 is pretty much my go-to. As you can see, right? Yeah, where is it at? Let's see, where's that? Where's that? Where's that? Oh, did I not even have? I didn't get no footage of it. I had to get a footage of it. Maybe I did. So the other controller that I have, this is it right here. You can see me over there in front of it. So this is the other controller I have. This here was my first controller that I got, the 1000. Yeah, this setup is crazy. So that was the last video.
I would fuck with that a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
give it a shot.
Okay. So that's the last one there. Yeah, but really you only need one controller. I mean, the reason why I have the two because The 1000 was the first one I got, and then when the Rev 7 came out, um, but the actual 1000 is actually a solid mixer. I mean, it's still pretty good. Um, it's lighter, a lot lighter than the Rev 7. So, but the Rev 7 has that movable platter, heavier. But yeah. All right, so we're back over here now. So the problem was that table right there was too long or too deep. So now we got this table right here. Okay. I think that was it right there. Looks like the VIPs are probably going to be right here. And the reason why I know it's the VIPs is because they have the white tables there. And these right here are people that's normally in the center. So normally VIPs would be right here. More stuff. Tables. More tables. Yeah, it's my computer. I guess I'm pushing it to the max because I'm streaming. So uploading and downloading. Um, Also, too, I have my iPad right here in front of me that has a stream on it. So, as far as internet, we're pushing the limits on internet, and as far as the computer, I'm also recording. I like so I'm screens. I'm already editing with Final Cut, and then I am like it's choppy the video, but the video you can hear me like without it being choppy. So that's what I'm noticing. But on like the CPU and all that stuff, like you can see up here, and the joint is maxed out. So yeah, it's at 96%. So all them cores, all them all them cores is pushing. But ironically, the Mac Mini ain't really hot. It's been hotter than this before. So yeah. But the thing is, like when I got this laptop, I mean when I got this Mac Mini, um, I didn't know that I was going to be doing uh like intensive video editing like this. So it's not even like the top level Mac. It's just the well, it's the Mac. Here, I'll show you exactly what it is. It's the about this Mac. So this is the come on. Yeah, so you see up here at the top, it's all maxed out. So this is the M4. I got of 24 gigs of memory. So it's pushing. And I got no my other partner. And then for storage, it's like a 1 terabyte, 1 terabyte, 1 terabyte of 500 internal. but I have a enclosure, a 8 terabyte enclosure that everything's runs off of. So yeah, it's 24. Where's the yeah, terabyte for storage, terabyte for storage. But the I think like this model, like the one the thing that separates this model from like the top model is the GPU cores. So I think the M4 Pro or whatever the top one is, the reason why it distinguishes from the top one and the non-top one is the GPU. So that's what you're spinning for. So on my next Mac Mini, it's gonna be pretty much, yeah, I'm going for the top joint, and yeah, it's gonna be probably gonna max it out because now I'm gonna be using it to its full potential. So all right, so all of that needs to go. All right, so from here all the way down to, oh, not that one. And also too, man, just know like, all right, so let's go ahead and get these right there. Drag and drop these for. I have a MacBook M4, same chip as a studio. It as a butter, never had issues. Yeah, but have you been editing while recording your edit? So recording, so screen recording while streaming, while broadcasting on one, two, three, four screens. Have you been doing that? And not to mention one camera right here, and then another camera right here, two cameras, and then three, four cameras all at the same time. Have you been doing that without any issues on that M4 chip? That's the 1000. All right, so I'm gonna go and turn everything on, and these are the same remotes. Like I said, two of these are mine, and two of these are my guy. So just let you guys know this is what. So just let you guys know this is what they come in. It's like a little dust here. These bags are expensive, so if you do get these, make sure that you bulk up on it. All right, but anyway, you're just gonna take this little top off here, and put it in there. All right, that's all you gotta do. They come out of there, but you gotta put it in here. All right, so I'm gonna go. So just let you guys know this to do is so there's a door in here. All right, so there's this message that came up on the screen. So it said because I was streaming in 4K or 4K, yeah, 4K. So I bumped it down to like 1440. So um hopefully if it cuts off again down, I'll probably go down to 1080. And this is good good practice as far as like testing what the computer can do. So boom, come inside. Boom. Got over here. Got a casino right over here. And everything else is gone right over there. It's gonna look totally different tomorrow. All right. Okay. It's still choppy. Bump bump the quality up to the max. It was up to the max. It was. It was at 4K uh yeah, 4K. But I bumped it down to 1440. But I'm looking at the playback on my iPad here, and it's still choppy when I play the videos. So I'm gonna wait for the stream to cut off again, and then I'll go down to oh, can I do it while oh no, I can't see. Yeah, I can't do it while I'm streaming. So if the stream cuts again, then I bump it down to, so right now it's in I'm in 1440 1440p, and we're at 30 frames per second. Yeah. But this is good information, so that way I'll know. Like, I mean, if I'm going to be doing like screen shares and all this stuff like this, then I know that I'll bump it down. But right now, we're at 1440 right now, so I'll wait for the stream to cut off again, and then I'll go down to 1080. And just all right, and just one last thing. This right here will be our setup. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today is event day. Okay, that's event day. Let's go blue. So that's the end of that one. So we just got to go from here, 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 here. This is, yeah, I mean, this gig logger here, well, it's gonna be a nightmare. It's so much footage. It's footage off of two 2 days. 2 days of footage. That's day one. So day one, so day one is 3 hours. Um Oh, you're using OBS? No, I'm using Ecamm. Hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. So much footage. All right. All right, that's uh, so much footage. Okay, so that's that. All right, so setup day. Okay, event day. Uh, okay, so I started. Okay, so that should be easy. So that's starting at the event. So all this right here can just go in event day. So this right here is the RCF mixer, and this right here is the power conditioner. On the back end, there's like 7 or 8 different outlets, and this one. So I have one outlet plugged into the for the SRT, and this one. And just to recap, so we're gonna start the night off. So right over here in the middle. So we just left from over there. That's why.
Friends of Empower gets 4, cannot be combined. Purple hard bar is here. If you want to go check out the car, purple hard bar here. Any questions on the exchange of for that guy, dude? It's gonna be really fucking cool. Okay. Uh, during the program, we have a fairly expedited program.
Yes, I have OBS, um, but I switched to Ecamm because of obvious reasons. You already know. I can tell by the way you're talking that you know what OBS is and like you know about the differences. So yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're pretty much done for right now. The time is 12:11, so walkthrough is good. Another thing that I did too was time how long it's going to take for me to get from over there where that flag is to over here. And I did it twice. The first time it was 4 minutes. The second time it was 3 minutes. So, which is good because pretty much when I'm done with the music over there, they're going to say a couple words. They're going to give away a Tesla. And then the next thing is for me to cue the music and the lighting on this side here. So everything is already tested. So I'm going to go home and get ready for tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the time is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we made it in. We're going into the back way right here. This is the back way. Check it out. Got all the servers over there. All right. Walking in. And here we go. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are just getting started. The time is So that's a walking in. So much footage, man. Yeah, it's that camera is super crispy. People ask me all the time, like, "Yo, like, what?" Hey, it's an iPhone 17. You serious? Like, yep. It's crazy, crazy crispy. I shoot in 4K too, 4K 60. Hold up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today is event day. This is crazy. Okay, so that's me starting. Starting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are just getting started. The time is. All right, ladies. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here, but I'm not nervous. It's vibing. We got house music playing. People are coming in. Let me show you. Okay. All right, so that starts there. Massive. Massive. Okay. Distance. This one was. Ladies and gentlemen, I am. Fancy, fancy. Yeah, this right here is one of the biggest galas. Yeah. B-roll. Mhm. Auction, giving away money. As far as titles, not really sure yet. Uh, I normally run it through uh Menace. I have my AI trained because I come up with my titles. So I don't know. One of the titles, because I always split test my titles. I always do three different titles and three different thumbnails, and one of them is going to be like um because this one here was I think a $5,000 gig log, corporate gig log. So one of them is going to be like that. So probably the first title is going to be like $5,000 massive gig log or something like that, corporate gala. Or I'll look at my other videos and kind of use those because I have winners already in my videos. So I try to take what's winning and expand on that. But one of my winning formulas is with a dollar amount and then the type of gig it is. And then after that, it'll normally be like a cliffhanger, like everything you need to know, or you know, uh, biggest biggest gig of the year, or something like that, like a cliffhanger. That's gonna be one of my titles. Then I'll do two other titles like that. So I'm not really sure yet, but my process is once I get everything edited and put everything in order, because right now I got I got videos from two different phones with a phone and my Insta 360, not Insta 360, Osmo Pocket 3. So I'm putting all the clips in chronological order, and then I'll go through. First, I put everything on a timeline, and then I'll rearrange it, and then after I rearrange it, I'll go and do my time lapse. Pretty much cutting out all the fluff, compressing everything, and then once that basis is done, then the last step is me going over, watching it all the way through and ad libbing like you see me do. So, but I already have those spots already designated for me to speak. So I go through, watch it, do my ad lib, and then once I have that done, so once I have the ad lib done, the whole core, so that way uh it knows like my voice, like my edits are in the transcript, and then I'll take that and I run it into uh my my agent, my AI agent, and then it'll go through, pretty much take everything out, or pull out, pretty much extract the core out of it, um and then it'll give me titles based off of that. So that way it knows what's in the video because of I've uploaded it, have the transcript, it knows what I'm talking about, and then that way it'll make the title and the thumbnail based off of that. but I already have my winner, and then pretty much I just do two more so that way I can split test. So that's my process. So edit it, and then pretty much editing is a big part. Then once it's edited, voiceover, then once that, I'll put it. And also too, and I normally upload it to YouTube, like the last video, like the museum one, I uploaded it I think like 11 times because of the copyright. Because you know how I edit, I will like play like a little 8 seconds and then I'll fast forward it, like the little lapse thing of like people dancing. They kind of get to like the next song. And then but sometimes the edit is longer than 8 seconds and it'll still detect it. And when it detects it, it'll just say, hey, this this video has been flagged for a copyright, for not a strike, but just like a pretty much it's a designation saying, hey, you use copyrighted songs on this video, and because of that, you can't monetize it. Your video is still visible, but you can't get any monetization off of it because you use someone else's music. So I keep uploading and editing so that way it clears all of that. So that way, now whenever I upload it, I still have my mixes in there so you can still hear what's going on and the ambiance and all that. But also too, I get to play the song and still get monetized. So that's the process. Okay. Game and play the music more on Twitch. Uh, but on YouTube, the live streaming, like doing the live, or even like on your actual like VODs thing that you upload, yeah, they're real strict on that. So they're less strict on Twitch. That's why a lot of gamers it's on Twitch. Actually, Twitch is built for gamers, so they have different. They play with different rules when it comes to with streaming and the copyright music. Yes. Yeah, yeah, that's nuts. Okay, so that one should not be in yet. So pretty much, I started out doing. So I'm doing this thing. This is it's probably a little bit nerdy for you, uh, but I'll tell it to you anyway. So I'm following this method on uploading videos to shorten the curve of me getting better. Well, shortening the curve into making better videos. And the way you do that is you upload one video and then you look at the curve, like the analytics pretty much, and then pretty much based off of that data, you adjust and make your next one better based off of that. So for retention, uh, editing style, pretty much like it's really it's the first 30 seconds, um, the thumbnail, and the title. Those things are what's what I'm tweaking. Um, so the reason why it's taking so long is because I have to first off I have to edit. Well, first off I have a lot of videos because I've been doing like so pretty much I've been gigging all I guess like all years. So pretty much. So now's the downtime. Like pretty much no, I don't have any gigs. Like my next gig is not till October. So now I have like at least like 6 more gigs to even get up to current date. All right. So, but whenever I don't just edit everything and put it all up at once, because if I do that, I could probably be editing on a bad flow or a bad, I won't say bad edit, but I'm editing not based off the data. So I could be possibly making the same mistake over and over again and making a long time for me to uh, uh, get better at doing videos. So what I do is I upload one video and then um, I'll look at the data. And once I see the data, then I'll start the next one based off of the previous data if the data is good. So one thing I learned in the last video is in the museum, I had two big dips, which lost like I would say like 20% of my audience. Happened twice. So pretty much I lost 40% of my audience because of two different dips. And those dips was I remember whenever I was at the venue and I was talking with the manager, those two different times. There was one time for that, and there was another time for I think doing a mic check or something like that. No, doing doing the uh the microphone the announcements. So those were two big dips. So now what I learned is, but people have been putting in the comments saying that they like that banter between me and like the staff. So what I'll do is um I'm going to have a fine line between keeping it in there and also to keeping it moving. So pretty much I probably won't stay too much in that segment because if you look at the curve, it it's not a sharp dip. It's gradually like goes down. But then after that segment, it goes back up. And then I think like it's like 20 minutes go by and then I dip again doing the announcements. And then after that, it goes back up. So I would never known that if I didn't look at the data. And if I were to go ahead and publish this video without seeing the data of the other one, I am pretty much making my curve to get better at YouTube videos or pretty much editing longer because I'm not looking at the data. I'm pretty much shooting in the dark. So this is why it's taking a long time for the videos to come out because I'm learning what the algorithm like and what the people like. So that way each video is getting better and better and better based off of your feedback and what the analytics tell me. Now, as far as access, yes, members will get access first. Like for right now. So pretty much, I got 3 tiers. I got a supporter, I got a super supporter, and I got a max supporter. All right. All three of those tiers are a channel member. So all three of those tiers, you get to see all the videos first. The difference between the first and the second tier is the second tier, you get shout outs in my videos. So in my gig log. So you saw it on the menu on the museum gig log, I shouted out all my Max supporter channel members. Like that's a perk for being a channel member. So that's the difference between the first tier and the second tier. If you value me shouting you out like that personal touch in front of the live audience, in front of the audience, then the Max supporter, I'm sorry, the super supporter, that's for you. All right. And then the difference between the second tier and the third tier is that the third tier you get access to the courses. So the blueprint and the master class and future courses that I come up with. you're gonna get access to that. So pretty much from here on out, any course that I come up with, um, you'll have at that already. So that's the difference between the first, the second, and the third tier. But all of those tiers, you get the access. So all depends on what you value. If you value seeing my videos first, then you can just join the bottom tier. If you like to see my videos first, but you also like to shout me, like to be shouted out in front of everyone who sees the video, then the middle tier, that's for you. I pretty much make you seem like a VIP. And then if you value my courses and private streams and pretty much like all the behind the scenes stuff, uh you guys got videos only, for you guys, then that's a top tier. Each tier is a different price, but each tier has a different value. So the top tier is $29. So pretty much you got 29, you got 10, and you got 5. Those are the 3 tiers. So that's that. So like right now, if you were a channel member, um, you have access to my podcast. So I have a podcast coming out. I guess this is a good reason for me to kind of promote this right now since you guys are live. So I got a new podcast. Uh, episode 1 is already out. My channel members, they already have it. And all the episodes, every time I publish an episode, I'm gonna try to do it probably like I already have the content already laid out. I just got to record it, but I wanted to get this gig log started uh, also. But anyway, I'm rambling. But my channel members, they already have access to that podcast now. And then so uh, I'll give that time for my members to watch that, and then I'll make it public. But if you're a member right now, you can go ahead and watch the podcast and do all that. So that podcast, it's in the if you're on YouTube, just go to my profile, uh go to podcast tab, and then you'll see it there. Oh, actually you probably won't see it because you're not a member. So anyway, if you're a member, any of the 3 tiers, once you join a membership, then you'll see the podcast there. So, but yeah, that's why. So yeah, this gig right here that you're watching me edit, it was done. I did this back in February. So it makes perfect sense. I like the banner, no cuts, style. I can totally see why the algorithm favors your content, engaging content. Would be cool to have a full thing, to have the full thing for members, but would definitely be more work for you. What do you mean full thing for members? You mean like have like the full banter, like me talking to like the staff and all that? Because right now it's in the video, but oh, I see what you're saying. So if I do cut it, that's a good idea. So that's what I'll do. So during those moments like that, what I'll probably do is just I'll cut it so that way I don't lose retention of people who aren't interested in that. But then I'll let people know, hey, if you want the full unedited banter, or like like the full conversation of what I said about the staff and all the little nuances, you join the members, and yeah, I could do that. I could probably do that, and then I'll just upload as like a behind the scenes or lost files, or I don't know. I gotta figure it out. But yeah, that's a good idea. So that's what I probably do if he gets it. And like this right here, like there was some talking in here, but like I said, I did this back in February. So whenever and the other thing too is like whenever I'm editing this, since I'm like in February, so this right here was like 5 months ago. Um, whenever I'm editing it, like I'm really watching it back with y'all because it's been a while since I edited it. Well, since I did this gig, so by me watching it, it's kind of bringing me back, taking me back to that point in time. And also too, like these files are massive, as you already know. Like these YouTube files, like we're already at 3 hours. 3.5 hours already, and we're not even done with like throwing all the stuff in here. So that just tells you how much footage I have from the iPhone in 4K and the actual Pocket 3 that's in 4K. And also too, so whenever and also too, part of this is like during that time I was doing like a lot of like back to back weddings. So I was having weddings like, like right behind each other, like every week. Like this right here and the the so this one and the museum one was I think like 1 week apart or 2 weeks apart. 1 or 2 weeks apart. I can't remember. But so imagine like after I got done with the museum gig, like footage wise, I had to immediately take it off of my SD card and put it on my, you know, uh, external hard drive because I don't want to put it, download it on my computer and take up space because this is like the files is massive. You already know 6 hours at 4K. It's a lot of gigs. It's probably like 600 gigs. Um, so I had to get that off my SD card so that way I can make room for this gig. And then after this gig was done, I went to Vegas and I did a whole gig log on that one. And that right there was like 4 days. So I had to take this off, put it on the external. So now I got like, like over a terabyte of stuff. And I vlogged for 3 days in Vegas. Actually 4 days because I did the trip down there. So now you're taking like let's call that's like a terabyte right there. 4 days of like editing that. So I gotta put that on the external. And then after I get back from Vegas, I got another gig, another wedding right after that. And then I did like three more corporate gigs, another wedding back to back. So and that was like back to back. So it's like okay, I'm pretty much recording, and then I don't have time to edit because I got another gig coming up. I got to prep for that, so I got to take everything off. Boom, dump that. Get ready for the next one. Boom, dump that. Get ready for the next one. Boom, dump that. Get ready for the next one. Now we're at the end. Okay, boom. Did my last event. Now, okay, I got like till October to look at all the footage and then start putting everything back. So this is why what you're seeing now is in February because I didn't have no time. Like editing 6 hours of footage. I mean, you already know. And for people out there for doing YouTube, like you already know. Like and also too, look at the type of videos that I'm doing. Like very very in depth. So I'm having to watch it multiple times to make sure that I'm taking out what don't need to be taken out. I'm leaving in what needs to be in there or what I want you guys to show you guys, you know, and then that's just the actual footage. Then I have to go back and narrate everything while watching it in real time. You know that takes a long time. So yeah, I mean just putting this in order, getting it off of the hard drive like into this project is like hours of work itself. Hours of work itself. Just putting everything, making sure, all right, and then yeah. So yeah, it's a long, as you already know. I'm yapping again. All right, percent like no cuts. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right, crazy. But yeah, it's a lot of work. Okay. Okay, so that is that. So now let's dancing. Yeah, we're definitely pushing it to the max. Okay, that's the dancing part. So this, 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 this. Okay, is that already in there? So yeah, storage is hell. That's the There's another YouTuber that touches on that subject, balance and storage issues being content creator. His name is Terry Warfield. Similar setup to you. But he has a Mac Mini and U Green. Yep, yep. So that's what I use. So I use a NAS Synology NAS, and that's like I think I have like over 100 terabytes in there. Anyway, so when I was telling you like I'll take everything off the hard drive, like off the SD, that's what I'm putting it. I'm putting it on the server because I don't have like I mean just these like this video and the last video was over probably I mean this right here is yeah it's a lot of data. So I gotta put it on there so that way whenever it's time for me to edit, then I can take just that project off the NAS, put it locally so that way I can edit. And then after I edit, I will delete it off of the raw files locally, and then that way it stays on the NAS. So the only time it's taking up hard drive space on my actual computer is whenever I'm editing. Then whenever I finish editing, I'll delete the files. Now, if I ever need to go back and pull an edit, that's where the issue comes in because I may have to. Uh, well, I could time machine back up it, go back in time, or I can just reopen the project and then point it to the NAS to pull files off of. But if I pull those files, they have to be proxies because proxies is smaller versions of the actual 4K file. Instead of pulling all the 4K footage from the Synology NAS to locally, I'll do it in proxies. And that makes it run a little bit smoother. So that way I don't have to pull all the gigs over. I just work with a smaller file that's later on the machine. Okay. All that needs to go here. Yeah. 100 terabytes. And that's and uh and that's just and that's what I have because I have a 6 bay and each bay is uh each bay is 25, 24. Each bay is 24, I think. Let me see. Let me see. I think I have it. Let me see. I can tell you exactly how much is DS something. See if I can find it real quick. Because I have there we go. Nice. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, gotta be on Wi-Fi. Okay. So I have, it is a, I'm sorry, not 100 terabyte. It is uh 80 84 84 terabytes. So 84 terabytes. Um, but those are just what's in there. I have extra so the one thing about the Synology, I'm not sure if you know, is the reason why I went to with Synology is at the time they were one of the ones that their technology, it allows you to swap out the drives, and the drives don't have to be the same size. So I have 6 bays, and whenever I started, each bay was like a 14 terabyte. So I had 14 terabyte times six. All right. And then, so um, that was the capacity. And then once all those drives fill up with 14 terabytes, you can then go back and start to upgrade each terabyte. So I went from going to 14 terabyte times six to then doing 24. So swapping out a 14 and put it in a 24. So I did that on bay one, bay two, bay three, and bay four. So now I have two more bays that still have 14s in it that I can swap out for 24s. So I have like 50 more terabytes available. Now, that's just going to be on that 6 bay. Now remember, I was swapping out the 14s for 24s. So that means every 24 that was inserted, it was replaced with a 14. So now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 14 terabytes just sitting. So what I'm gonna do is I was gonna give me an expansion, so that way now I can reuse those 14 terabytes. So those 14 terabytes, so let's say for example, if I got like another 6 bay, and then I have 6 more bays, so it's 12 bays in total. So I have 6 bays with 24 in it, and then I have 6 bays with 14 in it. So right now I just have those four 14 terabyte drives just sit. So that's the next upgrade. So get me an expansion so that way I can expand the NOS even bigger. Yeah. So, and that's why I didn't buy the other two uh 24 gigs, because I bought the 24 gig back in August, and it was like 300, like 279. And then when I recently bought one, it had doubled in price. It was like 600. And that's because of all the AI stuff that's happening. So I say, you know what? I'm just going to get two right now. The other two, I'll wait for that price to drop. And then what I was doing was and that's what I did for AI. So I had ChatGPT, and I had an automation going on ChatGPT. Actually, I still have the automation going. And what the automation does is it'll check all the websites like Amazon, pretty much all the places. So that way it gives me alerts whenever the price like goes down. So pretty much you just set that up as automation. Say, hey, ChatGPT, this is a hard drive that I got. Right now I pay like $600, but I'm not trying to pay that anymore. So I want you to scour the internet, all the sites, including Amazon, and let me know whenever the price, dips down, below a certain, you can designate like what you want to pay for it. And every day it'll give you like an update on if the price is still there, if it's going down. So that way I'll know. So that's what I did with ChatGPT. So that's my whole NAS setup. But yeah, doing YouTube, man, you need a lot of storage. A lot. Because yeah. These things are massive. These files are massive. And I'm shooting in 4K. Shooting in 4K, uh and doing multiple gigs. So now we have to 5 hours. Okay. So that's that. Yeah. Up to 5 hours, man. I'm trying to tell you, this joint gonna be massive. All right, so that's all dancing. Okay, so that's dancing there, all the way down to what's here. Oh, that's set up. Let's just say. Okay, so that means that I can. So switch dancing. So my dancing footage. Okay, massive. Look, I'm gonna mute this, but how can I yeah, look at this. Massive, man. Massive. Okay, so my dancing stuff, I don't really use a lot in the gig log. Hey, you can definitely get there. You got the blueprint. You're following the right person. You're following the person that's going to show you how to get there. And I mean, you're seeing everything that I do. Everything that I'm doing is documenting. And that's why I'm building this ecosystem. I'm building YouTube to show what I do, and then the course, all my teachings, it complements it. The podcast, it complements it. So it's like what I'm doing, like what I'm preaching, I'm practicing when I'm preaching, and also too, I'm showing the proof. Like, if it's a course, if it's saying this, saying that, but you, if you follow me, like it's all on display. Like there should be no doubt. Everything too, like with the pricing, like so I show my pricing. Like ain't no shame. Like people think like, and it's funny too because like I look at like a lot of my posts like on Instagram, like when I post like my pricing. Man, that ain't for real. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like it's on YouTube. Chill out. Stop hating. All right, so that can be last. Okay. Yeah. Just go ahead and jump that in there. All right. Hey, we had 9 hours and 56 minutes. They have envy. Yeah, they do. It's all good. It's all good, man. 9 hours. We're at 10 hours, man. 10 hours. And then the thing is, that's that. I'm going to drop the rest of this the dancing footage in there. And this is okay. Here, 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 here. And a lot of people, man, they talk about, I mean, you talk about envy, and they don't even know me. They don't even know me. And a lot of this, I mean, people that be commenting, like, they don't follow me. So the algorithm, like, showing, the algorithm shows my content to people who don't, more of my people who don't follow me. So a lot of people that 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 comment sideways, like that's the first time they ever seen me. So I understand it. But sometimes like some of the stuff that like why would you even say that? Like some of the stuff they say is like why would you even say that? It doesn't make any sense. Dang it. Like they'll say something like how can like like my setup. And the thing is like they see like my price or they see what I'm doing and it's not what they're used to. So they call BS on it. And like a lot of them fail to realize that like weddings and events like on the East Coast are different from on the West Coast. Like East Coast, you know, they go glitz and glam. They want, the big lights, the big smoke, that's their thing. But West Coast weddings, they're not like that. So, and then you got the people who like you can never get that much. You know what I'm saying? Like where I'm at, I get that a lot too. All right. We are at 9 hours and 59 minutes for content. That is the whole gig, man. Off of it's 2 days, 2 days of filming. It is 9 hours. It's pretty much 10 hours. 10 hours. 10 hours of footage. That's what that is. So 10 hours of footage and that the whole file because we're talking about storage. So 10 hours of footage is 385 gigs. That's how big that's how massive that file is. I thought it was bigger than that. So all the footage was almost 400 gigs. That's how it is in my city. No one can grow here. Everybody is a hater. I want to say nobody can grow because, and I don't want to say everyone's a hater either because people that's hating, like most time they don't really affect you. Um, like people hate on me, but they're not affecting my business. I mean, they can hate from the comments, whatever like that, but it's not affecting my business. And the way my social media is set up, I have two different profiles. I have a DJ profile, which where I have like a, all my following is at, but then I have my wedding profile, which is for my brides. And on the weddings, like I craft content totally different. Like people should not, DJs should not be, the algorithm should not show my wedding content on my wedding profile to them because the message is not for DJs. Some DJs may see it because they follow that wedding page, but and that's because they they show history of them following me and liking my content, but the message is not for them. So, but when I was going back to what you saying like in your city, like people hate on you, no one can grow. Well, the people that are hating, they're not keeping you from growing. What's keeping you from growing is what you're doing or not doing or lack thereof. So, because if someone's hating on you, I mean, how are they hating on you? Is a client reaching out to you and then like, they're like texting the client and be like, hey, don't book him, like hating like that? Like, what do you mean? Like, so that's why I said, like, if you're in a city and say, ah, man, I can't grow, like, what do you mean you can't grow? Like those people that are hating, they're not cock blocking you as far as like taking clients and like blocking clients from booking you. A client, so and it all boils down to like what are you putting out? Like, why is a client booking you? Like if a client says if you're losing clients because a DJ says, hey, don't book that person, then you got bigger issues. If a client is gonna listen to another DJ because first off a stranger, you know what I'm saying? So pretty much what I'm trying to say is you should be putting putting out content to where people don't have to block you. Like you should have your own lane to where like the people that are trying to block you or they should not be affecting you. So, but yeah, I see your comment, you know, but I kind of disagree on that. If you're if you are bagging yourself, like putting yourself in that bucket, then I want to be like, okay, like what are you doing? I mean, you said you just start DJing back in January, so I can only assume that you're probably not doing much. You probably don't know about, or let me ask you this: do you know about posting content, marketing yourself, structuring your packages, charging, putting your, getting gigs? Uh, are you familiar with that? I mean, can you comfortably say you know how to do that? Website, uh your booking system, what I mean by emails, invoice, meetings, uh all the things that you have to do or things that have to happen or should happen for a client to find you, book you, will find you and yeah, book you, get, find you and hire you. And then are you allowing yourself for that to be done? That's what I want to ask. So whenever you say is no one growing, well, are you doing those things? So well, personally, I don't let it affect me, but there are a lot of people in my city that are trying to become artists or performers or people on mass will put them or belittle them. I mean, but I mean that's going to happen. Jay-Z gets belittled. Kendrick Lamar gets belittled. Drake. I mean that's on a bigger scale. But you talk about people belittling you. Like, so they just belittle you, meaning, hey, they're telling you, hey, man, you suck, like belittling like that. If that's what you're saying, I mean, why would someone say, okay, like if you told me right now, Fox, you suck. Okay, I suck. Now that's gonna keep me from growing in my city, in Tucson, you know, and that's just really like that for anything, like not just DJing. I mean, for any profession, really, it's really any business. Any business, you got a business and you have a consumer. Well, I have an IT company, so I'm familiar with invoicing and things like networking. But when it comes to DJing, I have a long way to go. Right. But if you know the basis of that, you should be, if you already have a background in that, you should be now like re-engineering what you know and applying it to DJ business. If you have IT, okay, you should be able to make your program or know. So the thing is, you don't know what needs to happen. You don't know that you may need a CRM. Why do you need a CRM? Okay, what happens whenever someone reaches out to you and then they don't come back to you? It's like a week or a month later. And in between that week or a month, you got other people that's emailing you. How are you going to keep track of all that? That's where CRMs come in. Okay, what is CRM? You know, that it's pretty much a program or pretty much like a system that tracks the relationship between you and your client. Emails, invoices. Now that you know about that, being IT, you could probably build something like that. But if you don't know what goes into that, you'll never know, even though you have the background on that. When it comes to uploading content, I have 0 recorded and a few gigs. I need to get on. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, so you know what you need to do. But you seeing what needs to be done, you probably have an idea of what needs to be done. I mean, because I'm showing you and everyone else who follows me real time what needs to be done. Getting gigs, booking gigs, everything behind, pretty much everything that has to do with that. So, but you have to be smart enough to understand what I'm doing and duplicate it. And in all my stuff, I tell you the why. I show you what I'm doing and I tell you why I'm doing it. Hopefully that you can take that and be like, okay, I see what he's doing. Says, luckily no one has told me I'm bad, but I'm 100% lacking on things, on content guy. Yep. And that's what's going to happen. Like, you don't know what you don't know. And people probably won't tell you that you're bad. So you're going to go keep going thinking that, whatever the case may be. But if you're going to be successful, if you're going to, take DJing like, to the next level, these are the things you got to do. It's business 101. I mean, it's not really, I mean, and it's not really for business. It's for anything. It's with artists. It was, if you're a painter, a carpenter, you wash cars. It's all the same. It is all the same. Man, 10 hours worth of stuff. Let's check out how the first little minute's gonna go. So I'll talk you through how I start to edit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am on my way to the Beefsteak Gala. Today is Friday, February 20th, and just got back from Vegas MEX. So now I'm going to the venue to actually set up the event is actually tomorrow, but everyone is getting there today, setting up all the vendors. Well, not all the vendors, all the people that's in charge of electrical and stage and everything, including me, the DJ. And so I'm going to be going over there, setting up. Really, the only thing I need to bring is my controller and everything. I'm going to be setting up in 2 different spots. So I got both my controllers. I got my Rev 7 and I have my SRT 1000. And we all got code sparks. So pretty much you're going to be setting up on stage and also in a satellite location. But I just want to let you know where I'm at right now, where I'm going, so that way I'm setting the tone and I can bring you guys along. So that intro was like a little bit long, so I'll probably end up cutting that. Because like I said, I recorded this back in February, but I've learned a lot since I recorded this. So I've gotten 6 months of knowledge on how I'm going to edit this. So I know that if I start the video off like that, the returns are going to jump down. So that is something I got to cut out. So I'll know to cut that. And in this part here, like me driving, like I already know that I'm going to, so that is like me in the car. So what I probably do is, so I'll probably cut that up, like cut these parts up, so that way you'll see me like driving. So I'm on the highway, boom, jump cut, Now, like I'm pulling around a corner, boom, jump cut. Now I'm like pulling the parking lot, jump cut, boom. And then after that, I'm here at the venue. What's up, man? Good, good. So all this right here, while I'm walking in, what I'll do is, so I know I'm going to turn the volume down on that because I know I'm probably going to be talking through this. So what I'll do is I'll go through here, and this is me be talking. So while this is going, I'll say something like, I'll put myself on the screen. Actually, this is how I'm going to be doing right here. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to the venue. This is what the venue looks like. They got a big, massive tent. If you were at, the last gig log from the museum, it was something similar to like this. So after the gym show here in Tucson, they kind of flip everything and they start doing galas. This is like one of the locations where they had the gyms, but now they're turning it into this gala. So now I'm going to take you into the inside and let you see the whole space. So here it is, the space right here. As you can see, this is where I'm going to be at on the right-hand side. We got a raised stage and lights over there. On the left-hand side, this is where they're going to be doing an auction and pretty much, so I'm going to narrate that just like that. Like, so this is pretty much what I'm doing, like what you will hear me do. And that's how I'm mapping everything through. So I'm watching it, I'm narrating and let you guys know what's going on. So, but that's why I cut the volume down. So I'll know that is where I'm going to do my voiceover and start explaining. And then after that, I'll go to this cut here. So this guy here on scene. So I will be set up right over there. They still need to raise up that little sign right there because it's right in front of my DJ booth and they're going to wrap it. So we may be on a hold off for that. So I'll probably just unload everything and just kind of pre-position it. Also too, I have a satellite setup that's going to be right over here. We're going to check that out too. So that's why I have my two controllers. I have the SRT 1000 and I'm going to have the Rev 7 right over here. Rev 7 is going to be my main setup. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we ain't got lay of the land, but this is everything right here. So we got the Rev 7, we have the SRT 1000, we got our facade, we have our case that has our microphones in it, power conditioner. We also have our cold sparks, which is right here, and we have our two tables that's in the back. And then right here in the bed of the truck, we have one monitor and a cable bag, and we have the our rock and roller cart. So I'm not going to record loading in because you guys seen that already, but we're just going to load everything in and take it inside there. So boom, so right there, I know I'll cut that, trim that a little bit, boom, after that. And all right, ladies and gentlemen, this is everything in my first load right here. So like I said, we have Rev 7, we have the SRT 1000, we have the rack that has the microphones in it, power conditioner, cable bag, small table, facade, 6-foot table, and my RCF mixer. So now we're gonna go ahead and run everything on the inside. All right, so here we are right here. So we came in through that door right over there. All right, and so pretty much this right here is everything. So we did get some code sparks. So I have my code sparks, but here's gonna be 4 extra ones. And pretty much their vision is to have, so I'm gonna have my code sparks up here on stage. And then they're also gonna have one set of code sparks like right here by the dance floor. And then another set of code sparks a little further. And then whenever this party starts, then they want to have the code sparks go off in order, like 1 and then 2 and then 3, leading up to here. So I only have 2, but here's all the other 4. So this is how that's gonna work. So I'll be sure to let you guys know how everything's gonna work and how I'm setting everything up. So don't worry, you're gonna be here for all of that. But I'm just letting you know right now what the situation is so that way you know what to expect as you're watching this video. So just to kind of give you guys a glimpse of what's going on. So dance floor obviously look like they're gonna have a mechanical bull right here. So the dance floor and everything's gonna be right here. And then we are gonna be set up right up here. And but they still need to wrap these poles, and they're going to put up a partition right here as well. So what I'm going to do is, oh, I just noticed that they have a monitor, so I don't need my monitor. But anyway, now that they still have more work to do, so I'm pretty much just going to pre-position my stuff here, and in that way it'll still give them room to do whatever they need to do, and then I can just move everything forward. So what we're going to do right now is, man, carrying your equipment 5 blocks is crazy work. Generator 2, yeah, is I'm going to set up 10 to 13 blocks. Can't do that. Everything right over there. All right, so here is the plan. So I got my cold sparks here, got my my DJ bag, my mic stand, and this is what I'm going to be recording everything on the Osmo as soon as I get it out my bag. But here are the other cold sparks. Shout out to DJ Raza out here for this, who was so kind enough to donate his cold spark. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have, so we got 6 cold sparks total. We're gonna have 2 up on the stage, and then we're gonna have 2 on that side, and then 2 on this side. So this is gonna be the cleanest without having power cords running out in the middle how they originally thought. But after talking with everyone, this is gonna be the best idea for the best impact and the cleanest look without having to run power across the floor. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and set up the Osmo. I'm going to unload everything up there, and then I'm going to take the SRT 1000 and the table and go set up over there with the stage, or right there with that flag, right up on the flag. That's going to be it. So one pro tip that I want to let you guys know, whenever you're doing these big events. So my POC is the Wi-Fi guide, the power guy. If there's like a planner, they need to be in there in the loop. And there's other the MC. So in this event, like those 3 guys are going to be like everyone that I need to, I guess, coordinate with, because those are the essentials of what I need. So I got my planner, I got the Wi-Fi guy, he's gonna give me Wi-Fi. My power guy, he knows what I need. If I need anything from him, he knows that I can hit him up. And also to the MC, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So what I'm trying to say is, whenever you are in these events, you think of what your essentials there are, like where you're going to be setting up. Normally the planner is going to have that, or the director. The power guy is going to be doing that, because in these big events, there are so many moving parts. So, and what you want to do, and here's a pro tip, what you want to do is make yourself as easy as possible to work with. You don't want to be having to ask a bunch of questions every time, because they have their own things that they're doing right now. Right now, they're having their own meeting about their whole production, how they want things to go, because there's a lot of vendors back here, and there will be more to come. So as far as the DJs, what you want to do is, okay, find out those essential pieces are, because those are the people that we need to do. Those are people that we need to talk to make sure that our job is done. Once we have our orders from those people, then we can pretty much go off on our own and do what we need to do. But the point I'm trying to get across is, why all this is going on, you want to make sure that you hit them up first, get your one-on-one time with each individual, so that way you guys are of the understanding, and you can go ahead and be cut loose, because they have a million other things to work about. What you do not want is to keep running up to them, asking them questions. You have to know all this, because right now they're juggling a lot of things right now, and they don't want another DJ, or just someone else is adding more to their plate. And this is going to make you leave a good impression, because that's going to come off as you are easy to work with. You were given the instructions, and you took that and ran with it, and then that was it. And also, to your performance will have to hold up. But that's how, and that's pretty much, that's the gist of it. And when I was talking about the other vendors, like they're over there, and that's everyone else, all the moving parts. doing everything. So everyone is all still setting up. But yeah, this is gonna be our vantage point for today. Easily just clamp my Osmo Pocket 3 right there. So it's real easy to get these different angles. Yeah. So the reason why I had to do it because it was falling behind the local float parade. Yep, and have us find. Oh, okay, you're doing it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My stuff was in one of them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot it was a parade. Yeah, move it back. Yeah, yeah. So what you like what I would have did is I would have probably got there earlier. Well, you probably got there early too, but um so you probably don't know this, but during a parade, whenever they're setting up, there is normally like a loading area. You just got to talk to the right person and get the right authorization so that way you can use the loading area. So, you know, there was someone there and this is how like I could talk to people like, hey, treat this like a business because look at this. I bet you the people that had stuff on their float or that was building floats, they didn't have to walk, 10 blocks. Like no, they pulled up where the loading area was at, closest to where they're gonna be at. They unloaded and then they went to go park. But you probably didn't know to do that. But that's something that you know. Uh, that's something that well, you don't know. But if you have experience, you know to look for those things. So so all this right here, this can be like a time lapse. Me doing all my equipment. How long is this section right here? All right, good.
All right, nice.
So Saturday, will you be here? So it'll change Saturday night. So I'm talking. So one pro tip, while that I want to let you guys know. So that right there, I can cut that. Cut that. And then all this right here down. And then something like that right there. Boom. So that's time lapse. So how that is gonna go is it's gonna go something like this. So talking, and then from there it'll go into the time lapse. But you probably can't see it because it's probably gonna be choppy on your end. But this part right here is gonna be time lapse. 2000 speed, 2000% fast. We discussed it before. We're gonna load. We were gonna load. Where we're gonna load. We were gonna load up at the area close to the parade, but last second got switched. But assumption vehicles were together and it just spiraled. Yep. Definitely could have played it better though. Yep. That's the other thing too. Like just experience, know what you need to know. Yeah. So dual vehicles too. But yeah, dual vehicles shouldn't matter. You just need to know if there was a last second, you just what you lacked was the POC, like the person that was in charge, like a project manager or whoever that was in charge logistically. If there was something that happened like out of your control, then you should have been able to call that person. Which sometimes that person is probably busy dealing with other stuff too. So you'd have to figure out some type of way of like finding that person so that way you can, or start name dropping. I would just rolled up where the parking was, and then if someone had any pushback, I would say, "Okay, call so and so because I'm getting this done. I'm dropping my stuff right here." So that's what happened. So you would have used them. So the person who would have like stopped you from doing it, you would have used them to put that pressure or to call that person to get authorization for you to set up closer. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much equipment you had, but I'm going to assume like you had like a lot of equipment. But it sounds like you did because you said that you didn't have a truck. So yeah, having that and moving all your equipment from your car 10 blocks to put on a float so that you can DJ. No, 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 no. I mean, if you absolutely had to, but like you said, you could have played it better. But you don't know what you don't know. But this is like stuff like that is what you should have known, or I want to say should have known, or something should have reminded you to do something like that by looking at my gig logs, but looking at logistically how I do things. So that way, whenever, and this is how I think people like DJs should be looking at my gig logs. So you see the things that I'm doing, you see how, all the detail that I pretty much all the things that I do leading up to these gigs, but I'm showing it to you, and part of the reason why I'm showing it to you is hopefully that whenever you do your gigs, you know to ask and do those things. Like to me, it's like okay, if you watch my gigs, you should have known to go there early, get a lay of the land, or even have a POC, someone that you can call just in case that something goes wrong. Because all my gig logs, I tell you that, hey, I go there in advance, or I'll talk to the POC, or I mention that. So I'm letting you know that there is another piece. Yes, I'm here, but I've already talked to someone, so that way you know to do that same step. So that way, whenever you are going to a parade and something doesn't goes as planned logistically, as especially like you getting your equipment from point A to point B, you should already know. Okay, shit, I gotta call this POC, or let me call this POC, or let me, what I'm saying. Like you should already know to do that because you've watched my stuff before. You watch all of my gigs. If you're really watching it, if you're really paying attention, because I know there's a lot of DJs. I know there's one guy that I know. He says that he watches my stuff, but he don't watch it. He listens to it by doing something else. So I'm like, how you gonna watch my gig log and you're not even watching? Like, listen to it. There's so much stuff that you miss out on if you don't actually watch it. But yeah. So by me telling you this, you should be looking at my gig logs with like another lens. Yes, you should be looking at it as far as like learning, but also too, you should be looking at my gig logs to advance yourself. So that way, whenever you are doing your gigs, you know what to do. Like you've already been in a situation before. Also too, whenever people are asking you, like, hey, have you did this type of gig before? Or do you know what goes on when you do a big gala? You should be able to speak on that because you've seen my stuff because I document everything. If I find your channel at the time, probably what I would have, yeah. But now you know. So now that you found my channel, you watch my stuff, you should have your gigs should run a lot smoother now that you've seen what I do and what to do. You follow my stuff, you follow my content, yeah, night and day. You should be better off.
One that I need to, I guess, this is going on a good impression because that's going to come off as you are easy to work with.
So this part right here where I am talking to my camera. So I learned in I think like the 9 year anniversary for my for the corporate gig. That gig log showed me that whenever I'm showing me record myself with my camera, that the audience doesn't like that because I'll show you this angle, but then I would then show you the actual footage from the actual camera, like me talking to the camera, and I gotta drop off for that. Well, not drop. Well, you guys just clicked off of that. So that showed me, okay, and we talk about getting better at editing videos. That showed me that I need to show one angle, not duplicates. Because if I'm going to show this angle, I can't show the angle, the footage from the camera. Or if I show the footage from the camera, I can't show this angle because you guys are watching it twice. You guys are smart enough to know, okay, you don't need to see me. You don't need to watch me hold my camera explaining what I'm explaining to you. So this is what I learned. This is what I mean by when I put a video out, I watch the analytics so that way I can close that gap quicker on learning how to edit the videos. So this is why one of the reasons why it takes me longer to put out, when I said longer to put out videos, was longer because I was busy. But whenever I'm putting on the videos from one to the next, this is the process on how to close that gap. So anyway, I am about to go eat. Zerbis, thank you for holding down the chat. Appreciate you. I'm about to go throw some steaks on the grill, but I appreciate you. And what I'll do is I'll wait for you to go ahead and I know there's like a 30-second delay from you hearing me to when you're gonna see this. So if you see this, I'll wait for you to respond, give me the deuces, and then I'll go ahead and cut the stream so that way I won't be leaving you hanging. And anybody else that's in here too, go ahead and throw me deuces. Let me know that you appreciate it, whatever, so that way I can go ahead and get up out of here and eat something. All right, there you go. Thank you. Appreciate you. And I'm going to go ahead and type in the chat because typing takes only 5 seconds by me telling it. Whatever. Thank you for being here. There you go. This is faster. Whenever you type in the chat, that's faster than because you're gonna see this before you hear it. So anyway, but I appreciate you. Thank you.